you going down the right rabbit hole in your business? What's a rabbit hole? What do we mean by rabbit hole? Join us today on the Heart and Mind of Business as we talk about going down the right rabbit holes. We'll see you inside. Welcome to today's episode of the Heart and Mind of Business. Today, we're going to talk about going down the right rabbit hole. So what do we mean by a rabbit hole? Well, of course, that probably brings images to mind of Alice in Wonderland, chasing the white rabbit down the hole, not knowing where she's going and falling. So that's, of course, what we're talking about. But how does that relate to business, Debbie?
Well, isn't it easy to go down the wrong rabbit hole when we're setting things up? You know, we listen to wonderful advice, we do maybe what we think we should be doing, and we can end up taking turns, taking on work which maybe isn't really us, it isn't in alignment with our values and the mission and everything of the business, and we end up sort of creating our own different tunnels and then thinking, how did I get here? How do I get out of this?
Right. Yes, you end up where you didn't expect to be. You think, holy cow, how did this happen? So perhaps it's about recognizing the rabbit hole to start with.
I think it's recognizing that, that one, that we do create our own rabbit holes, but actually that we can choose our own rabbit holes rather than falling down that one that's already there.
Right.
So with Alice in Wonderland, that you lovely said, that there's a rabbit hole there and she just falls down it. Whereas now we're saying, oh, actually, where is there a good place to dig our rabbit hole?
Right. Rather than just going wherever and blindly following the white rabbit and then just falling into something she didn't expect.
So in business, what we're saying is that there might be already preconceived methods and paths of creating your business, but does that mean you have to follow them? So when you get a decision of maybe you want to do A or you can do B, which path do you do? Do you do both because suddenly both ideas are there and you run off and create two different things? Do you ask people around you? Do you ask experts? Do you ask family? Do you ask friends? Oh, should I do A or should I do B? Which one do I do? And you can end up with all different types of answers and responses. But the question you might not be asking is yourself, which is that right direction for me? So really it's getting that direction. It's stopping. It's having a moment to really get and think about, what does each of those different directions really mean? What is it going to experience? Is that going to be like for me? What is it going to be feel when that's in place? How am I going to feel about it? What am I going to say about it? Who am I going to be working with? What am I going to be doing? Does it feel really good to be doing that? Or is it I'm doing it for the sake of doing it?
Kind of stopping long enough to take stock, right?
Absolutely.
And then making an intelligent decision about which way to go. Now, you have a wonderful exercise that actually in our masterclass, you take us through the exercise of helping to make some decisions. So we won't have time to do it all, but take us briefly down that decision-making, process, how we could explore, take stock before we start digging our rabbit hole.
So the premise comes from when we're young, we can often be told that we're not good at making decisions, or our parents make our decisions for us. So we can get into the habit of thinking that we don't know what's right for us. And therefore, that's why we rely on the expertise and the answers of everybody else, because we're not trusting ourselves. So the exercise is to come back to learning to trust ourselves. So it's a whole it's a wonderful visualization exercise that I do, that I take people down through the different avenues, the different options that they've got, and really exploring and understanding what that's like, not just at an intellectual level or a logical level, but and experiencing that and feeling, is that the right thing for me? Do I really want to be in that environment? Do I want it to be with these people? Do I want to be doing this thing? And then from that place, you come back after having experienced those different options, you can then just say, which felt better? What do I really want to do? because there is a place within each and every one of us that knows what's the right thing for us. We just lose touch with that, or we don't trust it. So it's coming back to thinking, what do I really want to create? Where do I want to create my rabbit hole? Do I want to go down ones that are already there? Or do I want to do something that feels exciting, that I feel passionate about, and do it in a way that feels good?
Right. That feels right for you.
Yeah, we don't have to do things for the sake of doing it, but we
Right.
get caught up in that, don't we? I mean, I've done that.
Yeah, we can. And especially if you have a bunch of people saying conflicting things,
Yeah.
right? So, and I've seen clients do this where, oh, well, I wrote this, right? Because most of my clients were writing their book. They write something and then they send it off to their mother to read. And then they send it off to their aunt to read. And their best friend reads it and their spouse reads it. And everybody has something different to say about it. Everybody, mind you, who is not a professional, right? They're not editors, they're not, right? So they all come back saying something different. Then the client is more confused than ever. Is this any good? How should I change it? You can't change it to make all of those people happy. That you need a professional to help you with that piece. So, but you can learn to trust yourself. Say, I'm happy with how this feels. Take it to my editor so that it's how it should be, and not worry about all of the advice that those other people had for you. You can get
Because
caught in that.
you can, and you're never going to get it perfect. And it's
That's true.
letting that go of getting that and just looking at it through, instead of thinking, if I do this, I might fail or it might not work, but looking at it and saying, I wonder what will happen if.
Mm.
Exploring and looking as failure isn't something that's wrong. It's just feedback. It's just an indication that that particular way at that particular time didn't quite work out in the way you think it did. But can you change it? Can you do it at a different time? Does it mean, actually, I don't want to do that anymore? Let's explore doing something else.
Yep. Choose your rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, dig your own.
But that's where all these wonderful trailblazers, new products, new services have all come from people digging their own rabbit holes, listening to what feels good, following their own internal advice.
Yep. Good stuff. Wow, good stuff today. Thank you guys for joining us once again for the Heart and Mind of Business. Of course, if you liked this, below, click the like, share it with your friends, and leave us comments. We'd love to hear what you thought about the video, but also where you are in your journey. We'd love to be a part of your journey as you build a business that you love. Okay, we'll see you guys same time, same place next week. Have a great week.
Have a great week. See you then.